Get the cream, precious metals or the crypto things. Your bars are light like the one that's on a Smith machine. But my Maxwell and I ain't speaking about the pretty wings. Watch.
So this is going to be a short video about black wrestlers achieving and then being denigrated by the audience. So what triggered this? What triggered this is I saw a video. It was on a smaller YouTube channel who made the argument that the way Bianca Belair was beaten by Becky Lynch was racist, because in Kofi Kingston and Brock Lesnar, that was racist, and the breakup of the Hurt Business is racist. So I'm going to take some of these things, but the bigger issue is that in the comment section of the video, I saw somebody say, well, why, if WWE is so racist, why is Bobby Lashley the WWE champion? To which they responded, nobody watches Raw, nobody cares about Raw. And I said to myself, I've been dealing with this issue for like 20 years or so. Whenever somebody black achieves something, there's always somebody else that's there to denigrate it. And usually that person is black too. I've been dealing with the whole, when Booker T was the champion and Mark Henry was the champion in WWE. It's on the world heavyweight title. It's not the WWE title. It's not the same thing. Nobody cares about that belt. And now it is the WWE title, and nobody watches Raw. Raw sucks. Raw is a bad show. And it's like, oh my God. When you talk about The Rock or Sasha Banks, they're mixed. They're not really black. It's so weird. It's so weird. But the Kofi Kingston and the Bianca Belair thing. Now, there's this belief somehow that this doesn't happen to white people, when really, until it happened to Kofi, it happened almost exclusively to white people. You had Bob Backlund, who lost his title in 8 seconds to Diesel in 1995. You had, I believe, AJ Lee, who lost her Divas title to Paige on Paige's first night. I don't think that match was very long. But even if you want to say that, you had the most famous one being Daniel Bryan and Sheamus at WrestleMania, where Daniel Bryan lost the title in 18 seconds. So it happens to white people too, So it's a weird thing. Now, when it comes to the breakup of the Hurt Business, I made a joke several weeks ago about, breaking up the Hurt Business is racist, which, I kind of figured somebody would say that. I didn't think anybody would say it seriously. When you look at the breaking up of the Hurt Business, what you have to take into account is WWE is terrible with stables and tag teams. They just are. Their booking of stables and tag teams for the last 20 years or so has been absolutely awful. The number of, especially tag teams from NXT, that have been brought up and broken up within their first year has been abysmal. Enzo and Cass, American Alpha, Heavy Machinery. Look at how long Nexus lasted. Nexus was broken up almost immediately. Retribution only had a couple of months. So the idea that, it was some racial animus behind it. It's like, not really. No, it's just WWE is terrible at managing stables and tag teams. They don't let stables and tag teams run. But, to me, that would make sense, if you would look at it from the totality of things, and you would make that argument. Like, if you're going to make the argument that, they finally made a black stable and then they broke it up very quickly. All right, have they ever done that to white stables? Absolutely. Have they ever done it to mostly white stables? Absolutely. Retribution had more people of color in it than most other stables, and it was broken up pretty quick. And then people also shit on Retribution. People hated it from the jump. In fact, with the exception of the New Day, most tag teams and stables in WWE end up being broken up within 2 years. I mean, we can just go through history. You had Retribution, the Andrade, Angel Garza, Selena Vega stable. Look how quickly that was formed and broken up. Just as people were getting excited about it, they broke it up. So the Hurt Business isn't alone in the concept of, oh, it was a cool stable that was, that they broke up too soon. They're not alone in that. So it's not a racist thing. It's just so many options out there. And it's the most blatant one because it's probably the most popular in modern times. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to be one of these people who are going to, try to make excuses. People can feel how they feel. But I say, like, I've been looking at the wrestling space for a long time, and there is the incentive structure built into society where black people see themselves as victims, regardless of the success of somebody else, especially in the success of the space that they're talking about. For instance, all these people who are talking about how the NBA is institutionally racist. How is the NBA institutionally racist when almost all of the millionaires who come out of the NBA are black? With the exception of the coaches and the owners, right? Almost every other NBA player, almost all of them are black. And yet the NBA is racist. It's weird. The NFL, same thing. WWE doesn't have nearly as many black people as the NBA or the NFL. But, they have some black success, which, probably takes into account why there hasn't been as many black world champions as there should have been, because there haven't really been that many black people on the show. Now there's more black people than ever. Black people are achieving, and then when they do achieve, you get one of these four arguments. You either get A, it's because of some outside the ring pandering, pandering to Black Lives Matter, which, sometimes is the case. B, the person is not black enough, like Sasha Banks or The Rock, where, oh, they're black, but they're only kind of black. They're only black sometimes. Or they don't claim being black, which is my favorite of the whole, they're not black arguments, is they have to, quote, claim it. It's like a coupon. You have to clip it out and walk around with it in your pocket that you're black. It's weird. The third is that it took place on a show or something that nobody cares about. You had this for years with Booker T and Mark Henry and other people, who were the world heavyweight champion during the time of SmackDown. Even though SmackDown had greater penetration in black and Hispanic households, which I've said 100 times on this channel already, because it was, quote, the B show, then you're the, quote, B world champion, and then it doesn't count. But now it's Raw, and Lashley is black, and his parents are black, so you can't play the whole he's mixed card. Now it's, well, Raw is the B show. You see that B show argument came back up. So it's a really odd situation, and it's almost as if there are black wrestling fans out there who don't want to see black wrestlers achieve, because then they would have to let go of that whole racist, everybody's racist argument. They don't want to let it go, so their argument is going to be to somehow denigrate what the wrestler has actually done, so that the wrestler has never actually achieved anything. Like, you didn't really do anything. How people choose to take away from what other people have doing. You can say, you can disagree with it. I definitely disagree with what they did with Kofi and what they did with Bianca Belair. I can disagree with that. I can disagree with the breakup of the Hurt Business, which I do, But my larger point is that I see this a lot with the black wrestling fans, and I've been dealing with this stuff for a long time, is that whenever somebody black achieves something, there's always a black wrestling fan who wants to believe that everything is racist, and they will find some way to downplay it. Your success is either A, because you are pandering, B, because you're Uncle Tom, or C, because you're mixed, or D, because nobody cares. So it's a routine thing that I noticed in the black wrestling space, and it's really disappointing. Downright disgusting if I'm honest. So, and I don't like that, but I understand it. I understand it because there's an incentive structure built into this society where black people see themselves as victims. At any time a black person achieves, it has to be some conspiracy to how they managed to achieve something, as opposed to how other people did not achieve something. It's got to be because they were, mixed, or it's got to be because they're a kiss ass, or it's got to be because of, something else, sexual proclivities or something like that. And you see this, and this is why I don't take the whole race stuff seriously, because there's no honest discussion about it. You can't have an honest discussion about race and achievement, because if black people do achieve, they have to be denigrated in some way, and people have to take it apart. And that was just so like, ugh. I was just like, I'm done with this shit. But let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, donate to this channel. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Skin tone, so why attach yourself and piggyback the wealth you didn't earn or lack yourself? I'm telling you to own up to your own success and failures. It's a reason why these sleazy guys